welcome to RoXtar Media, and we are going to be joined by a great rock and roll Montreal band, Thedamntruth. Been around for a few years now and has really cool success. I mean, on their own with their own albums and hit singles, as well as opening up for such phenomenal acts as Styx, The Cult, touring with ZZ Top, and now releasing their third album, Nowornowhere. We are joined tonight by Dave, the drummer, the man who keeps the beat going. Hi, Dave.
What's wrong? How are you, man?
Great, buddy. Glad you could join us. And
Thanks
of course, the man who keeps the strings strong and just playing super hard, Tom, down there, with his beautiful wife, the lead vocalist, Lee-La.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad to have you guys here with us because I've been listening to the album, and I've got to say, of all of your albums so far, this one, it really has like a bigger sound. Everything seems like it's turned up to 11.
Good. That was, yeah, I think that was part of what we were going for.
Cool. Just, before I just want to mention also about the new album, for those that are not familiar, who are Thedamntruth? Where'd you guys start?
Well, Tom and I met at a hippie festival many years ago, and I was sitting around a bonfire playing with my acoustic guitar, singing Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's Almost Cut My Hair. And then this beautiful long-haired boy doesn't say a word, sits down next to me, takes out his guitar, starts jamming. And basically, I'd never heard anyone play guitar like this guy. And we just jammed for 9 hours. We just couldn't stop. We went through all the repertoire that we love, all the songs that we love. And yeah, that's how we met anyway. That's how we started. And then I brought him back to my hometown here in Montreal. And we wanted to form a rock band. And so we met Dave and our former bassist, David, through a mutual friend who was actually the drummer of the Sam Roberts band, Josh Traeger, put us all together in a room, backing up another singer. And that project didn't go very far, but pretty soon we realized that we all really liked playing together. The four of us had a really good chemistry. So we just continued, and that was basically how we started Thedamntruth. Yeah.
That's really cool. And I just wanted to mention, because he unfortunately cannot, or he's not joining us tonight, but PY, the current bass player, how did he join the band?
Tell the story.
Dave knows it.
Dave, you tell the story.
So, and yet another mutual friend put us in touch with PY, or actually PY, basically our now manager, Ralph, he kind of like spotted PY at a show. He thought he had a good sound. He was a good guy. PY is such a great guy. And, he said, I know these guys, this band, Thedamntruth, looking for a bass player. So he's a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. He was down to come and hang out and audition. And I mean, it was a pretty easy choice. I mean, PY is awesome, great player, great guy. So we got him in the band right away.
So now this third album is out. What's the, is there a specific message you're trying to say in this album? Anything specific? Or is it just a bunch of great rock songs put together, or a bit of both?
Well, I mean, I think throughout the process of writing it, because a lot of the songs were written on the road, a lot of the songs, at least the ideas came to us when we were on the road. And I think we, from all those years of touring and from all the experiencing, we really felt, that there's like these unifying, like human vibes that sort of just like are around anywhere you go. If you're in Europe, if you're in the States, if you travel through Canada, wherever we've been, we felt the same incredible attachment to the people that came out to the shows, to the people that we met along the way. And like, there's like these unifying phrases like hope and love and positivity and just that vibe of being of togetherness and community and helping each other out. And all that stuff was so prominent and so there's so much love, involved in being out there and playing a rock and roll show. And that's a lot of what we wanted to put out through our music. You know, I think we spent a lot of time and a lot of songs in the previous records sort of pointing fingers and saying, yeah, this is horrible. We suck, you know, society is going to shit. Things are really, really bad. And just sort of like really sort of focusing on negativity. And we wanted to switch it up. You know, I think it was time to go away from the negativity and bring out some hope and some light into our songs.
Yeah, and I want to focus actually a couple of these songs that I really, really like. In particular, one, well, you know, it's funny. I really love, because the album, it's got this sort of retro feel, you know, the side A, side B. And I really like the second half of the album is my favorite. All those songs, they're sort of like finishing the album. I think my favorite song might be Shot 'Em.
Cool. Awesome.
Really love that one. I think it's got a very topical message socially.
Unfortunately, PY wrote that song.
He's
not here to answer your question. So,
well, it's good that we're giving PY a lot of street cred in this interview, right?
That's 100%. It's a great song. I mean, the first time like PY brought it forth, he played it. I think he even played it here in our house, you know. And I loved it from the start. I thought it would be really, really fun to play, to perform, to sing. You know, we were working on little parts here and there. We were working on a few lyrics together just to sort of, you know, for me to sing it from my perspective sort of thing. But it's a great song. It's definitely a powerful social commentary, you know, for sure.
Well, another song we can definitely talk about with somebody who's here. I got to say, Dave, the beginning of those drums on the fire.
Yes, sir.
Man.
That might have been Tom's work, actually, believe it or not. I mean, he, I think, was the one who kind of like said, hey, let's try this kind of groove. It's very powerful, but I mean, on a sonic standpoint, there was like a kind of like a When the Levee Breaks type influence coming from there. And it was, you know, we wanted to get this like big booming drum part and big booming drum sound, you know, juxtaposed against this song, which is kind of like, you know, parts of the fire are, you know, delicate and soft. So, but I think Tom was the one who wrote that part. I mean, he put together the demo for the fire, and we went into studio to record. And I mean, I did a lot of like composing like other parts in the song and some of the grooves and the other parts. But I mean, the main chunk of the song, that's Tom Shemerr.
I love this because this means, see, all the members of the Thedamntruth are sharing in the credit of this album. And that's, I think, the most important thing. And that's what makes, I think, the Thedamntruth such a great band, is that it's a collective effort, you know, instead of just one focus on one person.
What happens is that it is, you know, we sit down and maybe individually write the songs, but it always has to go through the machine. We call it the machine. It's like the Thedamntruth machine. It's like what happens after you write a song very kind of privately at your home or in the van or in some motel room on the road somewhere. It really becomes a Thedamntruth song only after we come back to Montreal and we put it through the machine, and the machine is like our rehearsal space. And, you know, sometimes like, you know, you can imagine a song that you have written to be a ballad or a softer thing, for example. And, you know, Dave would hear it in a totally different way. And I can just start playing that kind of riff on the guitar, and he'll start, you know, drumming really, really heavily and loud. And together, what comes out of it is something that individually we couldn't have ever created by ourselves. So it's kind of cool to see like some of the songs that were written in a different kind of feel to them, go through the big Thedamntruth machine and become what you hear on the record.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And again, like I said, it does have a really big sound to it. Another one I love is Full On You.
Awesome.
Lee-La, tell us about Full On You. Since we've heard from Dave, we've heard from Tom.
What can I tell you? I guess the lyrics were written kind of very free flowing. You know, I have sometimes I write, you know, a song and it'll take me a year to finish it, and sometimes it'll be one sitting. You know, and I just think things were just coming out, and I don't know, it's just a vibe, you know. Sometimes I don't even know when I think about it now, like every time I sing it now, I can sort of put myself into the shoes of like someone who may have this sort of problem, because I'm not feeling the same things that I was feeling at the time, you know what I mean? And I don't even know if I ever really felt exactly this issue. I'm not like necessarily, because it's a very moment of like, you know, feeling tied down, feeling like someone is like, I have a key around my neck and it's tying me down. It's like, it was not about this guy. It's more about, you know, it's more about like from at the time when I was thinking about it, it was more about just, you know, the burdens of your everyday life, you know. And I just sort of it's easier to talk about that in a sort of relationship view. But basically it's like all of my burdens, all of the things that I carry with me, all of my baggage, you know. That's kind of what I was thinking about when I sang the song.
Yeah, it's a really great one. And I wanted to say also another song I think that really grabs the attention, and this is because of the guitar work, is on Tomorrow.
Proud of that song. I really like the guitar hook in the beginning, and I just really like the message of the song and the whole vibe of the chorus. It's one of these things that like just the song kind of, you know, I wrote it in like half an hour and it was done, and it's just, yeah, it's the kind of song that I've been wanting to write for a long time. It finally came out, so I really like that one.
Well, you know what? Tom, don't worry. I'm not going to obviously ask you what your favorite song on the album is. You told us. I was wondering though if Lee-La or Dave have a favorite song or two from the album.
For sure. For me, there's magic when I listen to Lonely, you know, because this is a song, I mean, you probably have heard us play it live before, because it's a song that existed before, just a cappella. It's a song that's, you know, it's been with us for years now, and it kind of came out of the band fire and all of that journey. And so it's always been very, very dear to my heart. And when we knew that we wanted to record it, like I remember for years, fans have been asking, will you record Lonely? Will you ever record Lonely? Because it's just been in our, you know, in our shows, but never on a recording.
$100 bills will get you guns and pretty pills, but where is justice lying? Brother, can you hear me? I'm rolling. Brother, can you hear me? I'm rolling. Can you hear me, sister? I'm rolling.
Then this incredible monster of a song just happened, and for me it's magical. I'll always remember like that moment in the studio where it all came together for the first time. I was like, oh my god, this has turned into something completely different than just an a cappella song. It's real, and I love it.
What about you, Dave? Do you have a favorite song or two on the new album?
It's hard to really say a favorite, because I mean, they're all so, if there's anything that sets like one apart from the others, it's like such very small things. But I mean, the song Shot 'Em is a song that like I kind of felt like I had a stronger relationship with. It's like the song that almost got away, I feel, you know, and it's also the song that kind of, I feel, kind of sums up I guess the direction and the story of the record in many ways. You know, while we were composing it, there was like, we really, really, really hammered it and we bludgeoned it like every which way. And there was a certain point where it just kind of felt like it was a song that wasn't going to see the light of day for some reason. And something ended up happening with that song. You know, we came back at it one day with a different feeling and a different attitude and a different sound. And the song just kind of turned around, you know, and it ended up being the last song that we added to the record. And I'm really happy that it's there, you know, because it says so much about the band. And, you know, I just remember, you know, the rehearsal space and then in the recording studio, and then, you know, just happy to hear it and happy that it's there, and happy PY, you know, really, really pushed to have that song on the record. And then hearing you say that it's a favorite, and a lot of people who have heard the record telling me that it's their favorite, it's like really, really, really glad that it made it, basically.
Go. You know, Only Love. The thing about Only Love that I really enjoyed is that I thought that song was never going to end. It just seemed like this long, great jam session. And, you know, I say not end on a positive note. I'm like, yeah, man, like, is this song like 10 minutes long? It seems that way, but it was seen that way because it was so good. Was it?
Keep us going through this morning, all our times, yeah. Even when it's dark, the moon still shines on. If we hold on, it'll be alright. It'll be
The thing that's so cool also for you guys, which you've talked about on your Facebook and in many interviews I've heard, and it's well known that this album was produced by the legendary Bob Rock.
Our manager, Ralph, used to manage the PYletellier, which is Bob's band from the late 80s or the 90s. And so he had a connection there, but he also told us that you only get one shot with Bob. I'm not, you know, you got to be really, really ready before I send any music his way. And Tom basically pestered him for a while, send him the music, send him the songs, send him the songs. Eventually Ralph did. And then it was less than 12 hours that, you know, Bob called saying, yeah, come down to Vancouver and let's do this. So that moment was incredible. We were at a restaurant and Tom gets the call from Ralph that Bob likes the music, and he jumps out of the restaurant, runs out the door, screams like I'd never heard him scream so loud. It was awesome. It's very incredible, life-changing moment.
So did you all go to Vancouver with your Bon Jovi and Aerosmith records to get autographed, or what?
Not quite, but we did pack everything that we own in terms of musical gear into our van, and we basically set out on this crazy journey. You know, it took us about 3 days. We drove nonstop from Montreal to Vancouver. Yeah, it was pretty insane. You know, we've done that drive across Canada many times before, but you know, when you're on the road, when you're on tour, you stop everywhere to play. So it takes about a month to do the entire country. We did it in like 2.5, 3 days just to get there. You know,
Everyone's just driving,
never stopping.
The van never stopped in order just to get us. That's it. You know.
Well, I think it probably invigorated you guys to do like a rock and roll road trip, you know, to really feel that roughness when you got there.
Well, it felt like we were just right back on the road, except we were going to make a record, you know, and we got to load up the van with all our familiar gear and make a real adventure out of it. It was kind of like, I don't know, when Bilbo Baggins like packs his bag and heads out to, you know, do the big majestical voyage. I mean, that was kind of like our thing, you know. And every great like Thedamntruth story always starts with, you know, loading the van at 6 a.m. and setting off on some like, you know, crazy adventure. So we did it that way.
That's cool. And I think you've even got another, not only do you have Bob Rock producing, but you have another special guest on the album, I believe, by the name of Ben.
Yes, he sang some backups. Oh, but thanks for mentioning him.
Cool. I wanted to, yeah, you know, so, I mean, he's obviously going to be, you know, and a great future musician. I think he's showing a lot of his talent.
He was very proud, and he was wonderful. I mean, he has a great singer. He has a great ear, so it was very easy to record him and have him do some backups on the songs. It was great.
It'd be really cool, if in the future you have Ben and Wolfgang Van Halen doing a tour together.
Oh yeah, why not? That would be awesome.
So there's one thing I want to ask you guys too, because you know, you did the trip, you know, Bob Rock produced, you guys actually produced some of the songs on the albums yourself. And since it's coming out, well, the album's out, you've got a single which was pre-released, which did really successful. The first single, This Is Who We Are Now.
Stardust burned ash, saw the golden gates in your face. We were birds high on the sun. Wings trailing from our planes, flying low in a mounting rage. You and I, we hold the reins. This is who we are now. This is who we are now. Like a shooting star now. This is who we are now. This is who we are. Waiting to be free, to ride that high until the next one comes. Never gonna die.
It's I don't know. I can talk about the way, you know, it came to be. So we were somewhere in the States, in Texas, somewhere, and I just remember driving at night to or from a show. I don't know, can't remember. But I was driving, and just out of nowhere, it's just like the chorus, as you hear it today on the radio or whatever. It just popped into my head, you know, and like with the guitar riff and everything. This is who we are now. Ba-da-da-da-da. I just heard it, you know. It was just put in my brain. And PY was sitting right next to me, and I was like, dude, take out your phone right now, voice memo, and you know, I just recorded it into his phone, like singing it. I didn't even have the guitar. I was driving, so he kept that voice memo, and it's kind of like the song never left my head. And during that tour, it kind of became like some sort of
A motto. Yeah.
yeah, like a motto of us. You know, it's like you get to a show and the promoter rips you off and you don't get paid, and he's like, you come back into the dressing room like, guys, this is who we are now. Or the next night, you sell out all your merch and you meet some amazing people and you hang out at the bar and you're like, guys, this is who we are now. You know, it's like it just worked on so many different levels, and it kept it going. And
That was our catchphrase.
It was a catchphrase. And by the time we got back to Montreal, you know, took a few days to rest, and we're right back into our rehearsal space. And that was the first thing that we've done. I figured out the chords, you know, I figured out the riff and how to play it. And Dave and PY just jumped on like immediately with that amazing bass line and the groove that they play on it. And there was a microphone set up, and Lee-La, you know, there was, other than the chorus, there wasn't really any kind of thought process of what the verses are going to be or anything.
I didn't write anything else. Yeah, I just sort of jumped on the mic because everything was feeling so good. The vibe was there, the groove was there, and I've gotten really inspired. And I think someone hit record, and we just went for it. And the verses that came out are the same verses that you hear, you know, on the song today. It's was written like that, together on the spot. So that was that's really cool, you know, when something like that happens, and then to get it played on the radio, and you know, it's crossing the sea, even though we can't get there. You know, UK has embraced it, and we're very, very lucky and thankful that they have. And it's awesome. I mean, it's when I hear it played on show, I'm like, I turn it loud, I open the windows, I go crazy, because there's so much energy to this song. It's almost like not us. It's almost like when I hear it, it's like, you know, I do that double take, like, wait a second, who is that? Is that us? Is that the one? Is that our song? Because there's like, it's very weird. It's like, it's one of those songs that came to you, like you said, it just jumped into his brain, you know? Yeah.
And I mean, obviously super thankful and grateful for all the support that the song is getting. It's amazing. It's kind of like seeing your child like growing up and going out to the world. But all that to say is that it's really, from our perspective, where we're sitting, it's hard to like look at it and say, wow, the song is like successful, because we're like, here it's like, it still feels like a fight, you know, we're fighting the good fight to get the word out and to get new fans and to get people who never heard about the damn truth maybe, you know, exposed to this thing. And in my mind, it has like a long way to go before we can say
it's successful.
We did it, you know,
Yeah.
if ever.
Well, it's already doing very well, as you said, Lee-La, and the UK has really embraced this song, which is cool. And I'm sure now with the album out, the rest of Canada and USA and the world will embrace this great new, not just the song, This Is Who We Are Now, but the whole album, Now or Nowhere, and of course, The Damn Truth. And we'll get back to touring. We know that you guys are real road dogs out there and constantly touring, and everybody can't wait to see you playing live again. I also wanted to just quickly ask you guys a quick question I ask everybody I interview. If you were stranded on a desert island, what would be your top 3 desert island discs?
Mm-hmm. Zeppelin 1. Zeppelin 1 is coming along for sure. I think the band can all agree on that.
I really like this album by the Kinks, Arthur. I really like that record.
It's a great record.
Yeah.
We can listen
Changed
to it,
my life.
We can listen to it over and over and over again. Dave?
I guess I'd bring a White Album.
Yeah.
Yeah, White Album's a good one for me.
It's a good one because it's a double, so you get more songs.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of
but I
music.
mean, you know, that's kind of like the record that gets a little crazy. You know, there's all these different flavors and sounds and feels, and obviously, yeah, it's a double album. There's a lot of material there, but White Album, yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. And again, really want everybody to get out there and make sure to, when you download your music or you're streaming your music, make sure to visit the Thedamntruth's website. Go on all your streaming services, your iTunes, your Spotify, whatever you're using to listen to music, and not just stream, but even purchase this album and get it, because that's what it's worth. And these guys put out 9 great new rock and roll songs, and you want to hear these songs. It's new, but it's got a great classic feel to it. It's the future for Canadian music as well. And make sure to get out there and check out The Damn Truth and their new album, Now or Nowhere. Thank you so much, Dave, for joining me. Tom and Lee-La, always a pleasure, all 3 of you. And best wishes to PY wherever he is.
We will send him.
Sorry.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks for having us,
Thanks,
Ron.
man.
Thanks for being such a great supporter. And there's a lot of fun.
Always, guys. God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is who we